raise funds up to about $180,000 in funds and grants, and travel expenditure in excess of about $50,000 thereabout, because they will take care of your plane tickets, everything. And if not for farming, I wouldn't have traveled to Europe. I wouldn't have traveled to Americas, South Africa, all these other wonderful places. It's all due to farming. So I would say yes, farming has helped me achieve everything that any career person would have hoped. Last year we did 5.9 million cedis in revenue, but someone might think it's good, but logistics wise, it was a hell. A lot of the logistics took most of the money away, and then we had to be content with just about 1 million cedis in profit only. And then we use some of it to purchase our lands here. Projects like Tony Elumelu gives about $5,000 to people to start their own farms and be very economical. And projects like Ghana Climate Innovation, we have WeDo Africa. www.wedo.africa also provides about 2,500 euros to anyone who wants to start, anything, any job at all. So these are also professional resources you can look into.
The future of farming in Africa is looking different. Imagine retiring at a young age in a serene and peaceful place like Aburi. Meet Mr. Felix Appiah of Trisolace Farms, who is currently living that dream.
Hi, my name is Felix Appiah of Trisolace Company Limited. Welcome to my 36-acre land here in Aburi. I am now retired. I'm a young retiree, and I'm on my farm. I'm living on my farm. So our farm comprises of 36 acres, with part of it being very steep. The rest is good soil, good land. It is almost pure forest, so we don't want to utilize it all for farming. So we are going to have hikings and a whole lot of other activities to make money from it. But on this part, which is below where we are having our structures. We have electricity here through solar lanterns. We have fridges, we have TVs, we have everything here. We also have irrigation, so we have 60,000 liters of water tanks. We pump water from the stream, so we have a stream that is clean, that runs all year round, and that's how we get water to the farm. So our main purpose for this was, we bought this last 2 years for the use for snails, but fortunate or unfortunate for us, that contract ended, so we cannot use this for the snails, and then we decided to use it for rabbit, because currently we have a market for rabbits. There's a lot of market for rabbits. Currently we have a market. We as Trisolace, we will never do something without a market, especially on a large scale. So why we stopped the snails was that the market for snails was a bit slow. They didn't increase the monies that we wanted for the snails. And then secondly, we're exporting. Larger part of this thing was export. Our market was export. Last year we did 5.9 million cedis in revenue, but someone might think it's good, but logistics wise, it was a hell. A lot of the logistics took most of the money away, and then we had to be content with just about 1 million cedis in profit only. And then we use some of it to purchase our lands here. Without a market, we won't start. And then the market is a Chinese market, and then we have a local market which belongs to the Choba Association of Ghana. So the Choba Association of Ghana wants up to about 2 tons every month. That's 2,000 kgs every month. And then the Chinese want about 50,000 kgs every month. So there's a lot of market for it. And even locally, a lot of the farmers will tell you that they can't even, sometimes before your rabbit is old, someone has pre-ordered it. So Same thing. Here we haven't even started. We have 20 orders from local farmers who want to breed. Somewhere last 2 years, we knew that the model that we were running for the snails, we were building for other people, and they were buying, they were raising it and selling it back to us. Some of them were not selling back to us, so there was a huge deficit. So as a business, we're planning on doing our own production. Hence our move. So we were scouting for land, went towards the west, which is the western region, Cape Coast, Winneba Junction area, but there were too many land guards and a whole lot of problems there. So we looked towards here. And fortunate or unfortunate for me, I think my dad comes from one of these areas. So when I was scouting land here, it was an easy way for me to do. And then one thing led to the other. We met a very benevolent man who gave us the land, and then he said, hey, you are a young person, I'll give you a very good deal. I have 36 acres and you can take it and use it and impact a lot of the young people. So that is what we did, and that is why I retired. So retirement is basically stopping all services and all access and now focusing on production. So I am here, I only look at the morning, I look at the routine, I divide work, and then I go back to the city, or I go back to Aburi. I'm actually currently staying in Aburi so that I can be closer to the farm. I'm like 15 minutes worst case away from the farm. So I come here every day, and that is how retirement is treating me.
One of the greatest area of investment is actually agriculture.
Aliko Dangote made this statement at an event. But for the young person out there with little or almost nothing to invest, what are the prospects? The question is, how do we even begin?
So one of my motto is start small but think big. So starting small, thinking big. Someone will ask, how did I make money to start this? We didn't start from here. So we started in my grandpa's house in Atonsu, which is Kumasi. That was the first time we started raising snails on a large scale. Yo, Nana! I walk over here. I walk over there. I share one in answer. Is where we started from. With a year, you were Hakamakama. Yeah. So this is Atonsu, where we started from way back 2015. And this is my grandpa. He's an ex-policeman, chief inspector. So this is where we started. We're doing it here, inside this place with all the snails. So I built So we're using or utilizing the space that was around us and using that to raise snails. Unfortunately for us, we met British Council at the first instance. They were having a competition, youth in Agric, and then we joined that, and that was our first funding. We got about, I think, £3,000 or so, and that gave us a boost. So we started, and then we purchased 10 acres in a very remote area on the road to Obuasi. And that was how we started. So we did the snails there for about 2 years, and the land grew in terms of pricing. So there were a lot of gold mining around, and they discovered that there was a lot of mineral deposit on our land. So we sold it for about 6 times what it was worth, and that gave us a big capital to move to Accra. So the move to Accra was necessitated by a lot of clients who will fly in. They want to come, but they have to do another 6 hours to Kumasi or fly to Kumasi, and the logistics were not making sense. So the logical thing was to come to Accra. So when we came to Accra, we rented a big facility in Dansoman where we were using it to start our processes. So we built a demo farm where people can come and see that this is what they will be having on their own lands, and that started our process. And how do we maintain the whole setup up to now? So we started by becoming very spoken about it, very out there, doing a lot of brand deals and doing a lot of branding. So we started printing t-shirts that were branding us. We're doing a lot of videos, even when we are going for meetings, funding, accelerator programs, anything at all. Even when we're going to build for people, we let the people follow us through videos, and they were able to see that these guys are credible, and we have been able to build that credibility up till now. People like us are doing farming on regular basis 100%. I am a full-time farmer. I dabble in other investments, but farming is my main bread and butter. So farming is very lucrative. I have a place of my own. I have vehicles, I have children, I have a wife, I have everything. I've gone to school also, where I now have a computer degree. At first I was having a civil engineering degree, and now I have a computer degree, all due to the farming, because I have a lot of time on my hands as well. So farming is very lucrative, and like I told you, we raise funds up to about $180,000 in funds and grants, and travel expenditure in excess of about $50,000 thereabout, because they will take care of your plane tickets, everything. And if not for farming, I wouldn't have traveled to Europe, I wouldn't have traveled to Americas, South Africa, all these other wonderful places. It's all due to farming. So I would say yes, farming has helped me achieve everything that any career person would have hoped to achieve, like a doctor, like a lawyer, like every other person. So farming is actually on top. It's like that, at par with lawyers, if you do it very well, at par with lawyers, doctors, and all these politicians and very key people, because I know a lot of farmers that have a lot of money. Like if you are into maize farming, for instance, and you do it on a large acreage, you have so much money you wouldn't even know what to do with it. So at the end of the day, I tell people, yes, it is lucrative.
The agricultural scene looks exciting. The possibilities are endless, but there's a lot to learn. People like Mr. Felix have paved the way, and we must learn from their mistakes and achievements. As the saying goes, those who cannot learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
And what are we doing as a young generation to pass down the knowledge that we have to other people? One, we are looking at setting up very good practical portals like the agrigate.farm. So agrigate.farm is one special place where you can go and learn anything agric at the comfort of your home or at the office, or when you're in your trotro, you can browse through the courses and be able to have knowledge. So now you don't need to travel to farmers. Now you can have that at your fingertips and then be able to utilize that. And the second one is that we're providing free consultation to young people. So if you come to me, for instance, you call me, I'm going to give you free consultation. If there's something that you're doing that is going to be volatile, I'll tell you that no, this is not good, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then you can now start by not making the mistakes that I made. And that is one way that we are passing. And my children are now farmers by heart, so they are also growing into the farming, because there's no competition in farming and very little barrier to entry. You can enter into farming and start and make it work. And you can go to YouTube. There's a lot of resources on YouTube. Even this particular channel has a lot of resources on everything agric that you can learn and then start. You don't need to pay money, and then you can start from your backyard. These are all resources. You can start with your chop box that you went to SHS with. You can start with a trunk, an old fridge, anything at all that is out there, you can start. And there are a lot of wood and lumber around our houses that you can refurbish them into these opportunities. And there are also professional opportunities like British Council, GIZ, African French. They are always posting opportunities like free accelerator courses, funding, and they even provide funding. Projects like Tony Elumelu gives about $5,000 to people to start their own farms and be very economical. And projects like Ghana Climate Innovation, we have WeDo Africa. WeDo.Africa, www.wedo.africa also provides about 2,500 euros to anyone who wants to start, anything, any job at all. So these are also professional resources you can look into. And we, for instance, have won in excess of about $180,000 in grants, pure grants, and we've got loans from Absa Bank, Leverage Microfinance, a whole lot of other people who are in green financing. So green financing means that they've reduced the the interest rate up to about 5%, 8%. Absa is now doing 10%. No advert, but at least that is out there. You can target that. And then there's also MasterCard, a lot of funds going out that is provided by MasterCard. So to my youth, to agric enthusiasts, to anybody at all that has a passion for agric, I would say start small. Start from your backyard. Start from the plot that is left behind. Start from your village. Start from wherever it is that you can have access to small amounts of land. But once you have access to it and starting small, think big. Think that in the next year I want to move from this one plot to an acre to 2 acres, and what am I going to do this? First, get a market. So do market research. Know that maize, pepper and other things are perennial, and they are also pepper is perennial and they are also very high in demand even locally. So you start from the low hanging fruits where you can access the market locally, like pepper, okra, garden eggs and maize. Maize in particular never goes wrong because they use it in all fields, animal feed, human industries. They use it to do all sorts of manner of things. So start small, think big, be innovative. You can copy someone, but add your own touch. Make it so innovative that people will know that you have added your touch. When we came into the snail industry, we built structures that were beyond reasoning. People were like, whoa, it couldn't be done, but we did it because we started planning and doing the research. Don't just leave things as it is. Ask questions. Be inquisitive, be resourceful and innovate, and people will come to you as a resource person, and now you will be at the head of affairs. So start small, think big, be innovative, and the last one is no one is coming for you. No one is going to help you. So you as a person, help yourself, because if you don't help yourself first, no one will help you.